Galatians 5 and verse 24. And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. I tell you, if we carry that, as I remember Brother Ken's message so well, how much problems we can have in this life if we do not crucify the flesh with the affections and lusts. I was watching a program, and many of us can be guilty of this, where people that in this world make a good living financially. This is a couple that brought in over $140,000 a year. And there were over $100,000 in debt in credit cards. And did not have anything. Outwardly, everything looked great. Everything looked perfect outwardly. And other families that were so concerned about the outward appearance that they were basically losing everything that they had inside the house. Yet on the outside of the house, the flowers and everything looks great, but could not pay the creditors. Death was up to them up here, about to lose their house. And so, sometimes, even children of God, as children of God, we can find ourselves in a situation like that, where we wish to look good and never consider the consequence. And the consequence can be detrimental. Many people end up homeless because the outward appearance looks great. Many people fall into depression. If we, as children of God and as young people here, learn to deny this world with its affection and lust, we do not have to have that kind of a pain and suffering. It doesn't worth it. It doesn't worth it. Happiness is way better than having an outward appearance and yet on the inside of the walls of those doors, just a continued struggle. Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11:24. Take a look at Moses. It's a great example for us. I'll read verse 23. By faith Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months by his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's command. Back then, Pharaoh had a law against the Hebrew male children, to kill all the Hebrew male children. They were worried that they were multiplying too fast and they would become a great army and take over. Moses' parents hid him. So what did Moses do as he became a man? When he became older, to stand on his own, make his own decisions. What did he do? Did he follow after the things of Pharaoh in Egypt? Or did he choose a different path? What path did he choose? And can it be an example for us? Can it be helpful to us? What can we glean from it to enrich our spiritual lives? So Moses, verse 24, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. And we should say we refuse to be called a child of this world. We deny this world with its affection and lust. And so Moses refused to be called a son of Pharaoh's daughter. What did he choose? He chose rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. And that's what this world is enjoying. The pleasure that this world has is only for a moment. They will all stand before God one day, esteeming the approach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. Moses chose God and his people. He did not stay in Egypt. He could have stayed in Egypt and not worry about what was going on there. He was a Hebrew by birth, but he was living in Egypt. He was living in the king's daughter's house. He was a pharaoh. He did not have to go back. There's an old saying today, when you live in the Romans, you gotta do as the Romans do. And I remember that old saying as well from Grenada, that people go and solve the almighty dollar when they leave the island. But not so with us. We came here with God. We did not give him up. Have no intention of doing so. And even every one of us that are here in Christ, it is a great thing. It is a wonderful feeling every Sabbath to come and meet different people and see that everyone is willing to serve God in this. 1 Peter 2:11. I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. That's a big problem. Yes, we are strangers. The Rechabites, they were strangers. One of the things they did not do is cause the land where they live they did not become slaves to them. They lived a very quiet life. They lived in tents. They weren't noticed. They did not carry any burden. None at all. They were always very stable-minded. Why? They weren't drunken with the things of the world. They weren't. But we can become drunk and not even drink a bit of wine. We can become drunk, frustrated, depressive, because we take on the things of this world and it presses us down. One way to get rid of that problem is to release. Release. Counselors will tell you to speak it out. Say it. Get it out of you. Well, most of the time we got to release of the things that we see in this world. Let it go. John said, if you have two coats, give one. No, you got one. You don't have to think, which one should I wear today? Because you got one. So, I wonder which, this one doesn't match with that. But with the one coat, as John said, you put it on. Why? It's cold. That's why you wear it. We're not wearing it for beauty.